Welcome back. Jennifer Fierro, your broad podcaster here in the Highland Lakes with Art Dlugach, the voice of the Llano Yellow Jackets. And before we get into Smoking for Jesus, Art corrected me on something. I'm going to give you the floor.
Well, amended would be a better point. Shiner has lost twice this year, and once to Refugio and once to Hallettsville. Hallettsville is a team that beat Llano a couple of years ago in the state semis. Seems like they're a very huge school to be playing Shiner. That just shows you how good Shiner is. Now, the Thanksgiving plans for Llano, 8 a.m. you can attend a short practice and see the boys at the stadium, and then at 11:30 at Inman's will be a Thanksgiving dinner if you want to take part in that. And that is Thanksgiving Day.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. If you can't get enough of the pro, NFL, or whoever else is playing on college on Thursday and want some high school, that is an outstanding place to go. And, of course, the Jackets, it's a big family over there anyway.
You bet.
Okay. And speaking of families, we can say the same about the Smoking for Jesus football team. The Eagles came back after a 2-week layoff, did not have any rust at all. They ended up beating Johnson County Sports Association 45-0 in a game that ended at halftime because of the mercy rule, 6-man football.
Bad rule. Go ahead.
So now they are in a rematch in the next round of the Texas Association of Independent Athletic Organizations.
That's the best you've ever gotten this entire season.
Yeah. That is a rematch that's going to be played on Friday night at 7 o'clock at Wallace Rydell Park in Burnett. And the rematch, this is from a Smoking for Jesus 36-34 win. I know that's correct, but I'm trying to go back through my head here. I know that story is on TexasChalkTalk.com. I believe that's the one where Benjamin Frazier ran down on a punt and tackled the punt returner as soon as he caught the ball on the last play of the game to seal it for the Eagles. I think I've got that correct. And that story will be on TexasChalkTalk.com. We'll also put the follows for these football playoff games there as well. I want to say that in the 45-0 win, Isaac Leger and Jonathan Frazier were simply unstoppable here. Isaac he completed 4 of 8 passes for 153 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. His main target was Jonathan Frazier, who caught 3 passes for 135 and 3 touchdowns. Isaac also had 2 rushes for 41 yards and a touchdown. For the season, Isaac has completed 130 of 121 passes for 2,065 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He has 86 rushes for 1,237 yards and 18 touchdowns. So this game will be very interesting because I think both teams mirrored each other. If you attend the game, and know this because they are playing Bulverde Gloria Deo Academy. That is the rematch. Gloria Deo is led by quarterback Cameron Playford. He's a junior. He has completed 79 of 123 passes for 1,044 yards with 19 touchdowns and an interception. He is their passer. He's their passer. He doesn't really run the football. The runner is Davis Chandler. 123 rushes, 1,262 yards with 26 touchdowns. He has caught 12 passes for 171 yards and 2 scores. And the top receiver is sophomore Caleb Ross with 30 catches for 478 yards and 8 touchdowns. And he has 14 rushes for 87 yards and 4 scores. This game, I believe, will go 4 quarters. It went that way the last time unless something unforeseen happens, God forbid, an injury of some sort or something like that. I think these 2 teams are evenly matched. I do think that turnovers will play a factor in the outcome as they always do. Tackling, if you ask any coach, they'll tell you tackling, turnovers, controlling the line of scrimmage, catching the football are going to be mainstays of any game. But valuing possessions. When you're only scoring about 36 points or 34 points, you have to make the most of each possession you get. In six-man football, they really like to offside kick, right? Because there are so few place kickers. So making sure that you can get an onside kick will be incredibly valuable. And the other thing is, it would be helpful if you had a place kicker who could make the 2-point kicks. Because in six-man, they're not extra point, they're extra points. Each attempt is worth 2.
If you run for it, it's just 1.
Right.
Or pass.
Right. Because it's six-man, and they happen so frequently, unlike in the 11-man where it's so much harder to get a 2-point play. So those are my thoughts going into this contest. Art, if you have any, please throw them in. If not, switch gears and we can talk about a different kind of football.
Well, I'm just real proud of Smoking for Jesus. It's only several years of playing football, and they've won, as you said, 2 state championships. 3 state championships already. Could make it 4 this season. So congratulations to Coach Frazier and those young men.
Yeah, and they're very, very driven. I'm especially excited to see Isaac Leger. I've only gotten to see him a couple of times. I hope to see him on Friday night. God willing, the Jackets will wrap up their game where you and I are not sweating it out in the press boxes. We're covering that one, and then we can have an enjoyable ride back to Barnett County, and I'll head from San Antonio to Wallace-Rydell to get ready for that contest.
That'll be quite a doubleheader for you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't
I know you are.
You bet. Okay. We're going to wrap up the high school and go right into the Big 12 because there are some major contests that are happening for the Thanksgiving holiday.
Well, it's real easy. You know, when they play this 9-game round robin, everybody plays everybody else in the Big 12. It's real confusing for most of the season. It's not confusing now. TCU at 11-0 has already earned a berth in the conference championship game. There's no regular season title holder. They've got to win that to be champions of the Big 12. The Horned Frogs are there after a 29-28 come from behind, another one win over Baylor. So 2 teams are fighting to get that spot against TCU, and they are Texas and Kansas State. It's real easy. Texas has to beat Baylor on Friday, and Kansas State has to lose to Kansas on Saturday. Kansas State will be favored to win, and Texas is probably a favorite to beat Baylor. So that's the way it should happen. It very well may not. Kansas had this great start of 5-0, and now it is 6-5, and they've earned a bowl spot. So good for the Jayhawks for sure. But we'll see if Texas can eke its way into that title game, a rematch with TCU, losing the first time 17-10. So that would be a great game. I know that Jennifer would certainly like it if the Longhorns do arrive in the title game at AT&T Stadium.
Well, unfortunately, my Longhorns need a lot of help. And so it's not enough to win. They don't control their own destiny. I did say and thought that Texas would win 8 games. They've got a shot at winning 8 this year. It'd be nice if they got to 8-4 before they went to the bowl game. And then it makes me uncomfortable to have to rely on somebody else who already knows the outcome. It's one of the things I love about international soccer when you talk about the World Cup. If you have 2 teams that are in pool play and both of them are trying to get out, or one of them's trying to get out, I forget how they do it now, but basically in pool play, when you know you have 2 teams that have a shot at getting out,
right,
they both start their games at the same time to protect the integrity of the outcome. And I like that.
That is good.
It's one of the few things about international soccer that I really appreciate. And in this sense, because TV rights have such a big say, there's no way they're going to have Texas play on a Saturday at the same time Kansas State plays, not when Texas and Baylor are still a marquee matchup, and that brings eyeballs to television sets.
Well, I imagine that game was set at the beginning of the year. I would think
the date was. I don't think the time was. But
no,
yeah.
but I mean the date, so that it's Friday for Texas and Baylor, Saturday for Kansas State and Kansas. Kansas State has been awfully good, so they will be somewhat of a solid favorite to beat the Jayhawks. Interesting one line about the international, what they call the real football. The U.S. opened with a tie, a draw with Wales, 1-1, and England opened with a 6-2 victory over Iran.
There you go.
All right.
Okay. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Here's hoping that your Thanksgiving is filled with the people you love, all of your favorite foods, and all of the things that make Thanksgiving a memorable holiday. You have anything else you want to say before we
Well,
close?
I want to say how much we enjoyed the Cowboys win over the Vikings, 40-3, and it was stated that it was the biggest road win ever, 60 years for the Cowboys. That they won, winning 40-3, the biggest ever win on the road, and beat an 8-1 team.
Let's see if the Cowboys can keep it going against the Giants on Thanksgiving Day. For Art Dlugach, I'm Jennifer Fierro, your broad podcaster here in the Highland Lakes. Please make sure to go to TexasChalkTalk.com for all of your Highland Lake sports news. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.